Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new limited edition Adidas Predator Instinct 94 as part of the Revenge Pack. Now, as you can see, my pair came in a standard Adidas box, and if you've seen any of the pictures online, which I'm sure most of you have, some of them seem to be coming in this kind of special edition 1994 Predator branded box. I'm not sure why mine came in this box. I ordered these directly from Adidas's website. They're currently sold out now. But again, I'm not sure why there's variation with the box. It's quite possible that because these pairs were allocated, because there are only 1,825 pairs worldwide, that Europe got a certain box, North America got a certain box. That's very possible, but again, I don't know the answer. And should you order a pair, no matter where it's from, because again, I got mine straight from Adidas, I don't know what box you're going to get. So please keep that in mind, and don't worry if you don't get the Predator 1994 branded box. Would have liked to have had it, but again, no big deal. The shoes on the inside are really what matters, and just like a lot of top-end models from Adidas, all you get inside the box are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these out of the box really quickly, and if you guys could take a second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here is a look at the Revenge Pack Adidas Predator Instinct 1994. This is a tribute, or more or less a remake, of the original Predator, which came out, of course, in 1994. I honestly don't have a lot of recollection of this shoe. I've never actually seen an original pair in person even. I was born in 1993, so this shoe came out when I was 1 year old. And I have to say, a really big fan of the design. I think it looks really cool in the form of a Predator Instinct. Basically, the concept here was to remake some of the iconic Predator models. We will be seeing more in the very near future, so get excited about that. I am personally. And I have to say, it's very cool. They've incorporated that classic Predator 94 design on the upper, obviously with some modern twists that we're going to talk about in today's video, and it's all kind of based on the latest Predator Instinct model. I would have honestly liked to have seen just a true remake where they remade the shoe entirely as it was with the original pairs, but I can understand why they didn't do that, and I think that this overall is a pretty good marketing scheme, and it really shows off the long and really impressive history of the Adidas Predator line. It's been around for so long now, 20 years to be exact. And again, I think they have so many cool models that really look good in remade form. It's an interesting shoe, whether you want to wear them or have it as a collector's piece. And speaking of having a pair for yourself, they are still available in limited quantities. Like I mentioned, only 1,825 pairs worldwide. So if you guys are interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. There'll be a link down below in the description, and it will have buy it now links to any currently available pairs at retail price as long as they are available. So please keep that in mind. Extremely limited quantities, limited sizing even. So if you didn't scoop a pair yet and you're interested in doing so, check out that link down below in the description, and as long as there are some available, I will have links on that page. So be sure to go ahead and check that out. With that being said though, let's get right into the video. To start things off, let's talk about the design and colorway featured on the Predator Instinct 94. Now, as you can see, Adidas has really gone all out with trying to incorporate a lot of those original designs on, of course, a more modern Predator Instinct base. Now, just like the original, this shoe features, of course, that classic black, white, and red Predator color scheme. It's really the only color you could go with if you were going to remake the shoe, or any remake of a Predator for that matter. And I have to say, it looks really, really good in the form of a modernized Predator Instinct with those classic 94 Predator elements. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, if you've ever seen an original Predator 94, there's lots of images online. You're going to notice that it is, of course, leather, which this shoe is 100% synthetic, but it also has a very fine kind of reptile skin, snake skin detailing on the surface of the leather. Now, in comparison to the original, the actual reptile print is much larger on this shoe than the pictures that I've seen. Again, I've never seen an original Predator 94 in person, but it appears to be much larger than what we saw on the original, which I really don't have any complaints about. It really does pop in person, and you can see that the outside, or the kind of main pattern, is shiny, and then the creases in between are more of a matte finish. So again, it really pops even from a distance. You can definitely tell that there are scales, or what appears to be some form of reptile skin across the entire upper. So as far as visual effect is concerned, I think that these look really, really good, even though they aren't leather like the original Predator model. You have your Adidas stripes that are a little bit unusual as far as their shape is concerned. Really looks good. Really has that kind of old school vibe, if you ask me. And then again, in person, hopefully you guys can see there's that little bit of detail there in the form of like a clear coat on the actual Adidas stripes themselves. It's a little bit difficult to see, trying to get a right angle. You can see it a little bit there. It's kind of like this line with these little kind of cross hatches across it. Really nice little detail in person. And again, they really went with every single small element that they could possibly incorporate to make this as true to the original as possible, while still maintaining, of course, the modern elements of a Predator Instinct. You can see here on the tongue, you have that same reptile skin pattern, and they've also incorporated that 2014 logo, 20 standing for 20 years of Predator, and 14 standing for the 14th Predator model, which is, of course, the Predator Instinct. You have this very large flap tongue, just like what we saw on the original. I'm not sure if this is something that was meant to be folded over. I don't think it would be. And of course, you have your original Predator branding and logo right there on the tongue, which to me is really, really cool looking. You can see that even they went to the detail of kind of changing the cut of the shoe. So it has that really old school cut where it's a mid cut on the side and then a little bit higher cut than you would normally find on most modern shoes. It has that different shape about it. And again, that's just one of those little extra details that they incorporated into this particular model. That really gives it that nice old school vibe, even though it is, of course, a modern shoe that features pretty much all modern elements. Now, one of the most unique aspects of the shoe is, of course, the Predator zones themselves. It's like a tooth-like rubber pattern. It's very, very thick rubber. And for those wondering if it's a little bit dirty, that's just because dust seems to stick to this particular rubber. This is pretty much how my pair showed up out of the box. It's not something that's dirty. It's not because I wore them or anything. That's just how it is. That's generally the case with kind of dark black rubber. And you can see that it's very, very cool. It's aggressive here, and it runs all the way around the outside of the shoe down the side. You can see on the back you have your red Adidas branding, and then it runs on the inside of the shoe as well. Central lacing system, as you can see, the heel liner is all a black synthetic suede. And then the insole is pretty straightforward. It's just solid black with your Predator branding there in red. And then you can see on the outside here, the front, the forefoot area and the toe box has that border of the control frame in red with those little kind of teeth. And then the back portion is black. And then on the very bottom, again, it's the same Predator Instinct, the modern Predator Instinct sole plate, but with the underlay pattern that mimics the pattern that we saw again on the original Predator 94. So kind of a cool little concept there. Definitely looks really good. And everything else about this sole plate is, of course, that of the control frame on the standard Predator Instinct. So as far as visuals go, I give these a 10 out of 10. Very, very cool looking shoe. In terms of actual performance, I'm not sure this is something that you would like to wear, but as far as performance is concerned, that's what we're going to talk about next in today's video. In terms of performance, I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to look at this shoe as more of a collector's piece. Of course, it is limited to less than 2,000 pairs worldwide. So for that reason alone, it is more of a collector's item as opposed to something you might want to wear. But Adidas has really done their part in incorporating as many modern elements, performance-oriented elements, into this remake of the Predator 94. So if you were a fan of the Predator 94, perhaps you wore a pair back in 1994, and you were really looking for something as similar to that as possible, this is really your best opportunity to have a modern variation of that shoe. Of course, it's not the same. There's lots of elements that are different about it, but as far as using this as a performance model, it has premium materials, it's well made, it fits nicely. Adidas has done everything they possibly could to make this a 100% very, very wearable shoe. So please keep that in mind if you do buy a pair or are interested in buying a pair, that this is not just something to sit on the shelf. You could actually wear this if you really wanted to. Now, as far as the upper is concerned, as opposed to being leather, it is of course synthetic, and the synthetic they use is that same hybrid touch material that we see on the standard Predator Instinct. It appears to be a little bit thicker this time around, and the finish on the outside is dramatically different. It has a very shiny finish, kind of to have that nice pop, and you guys can see against the light, it really reflects it really nicely. And then you have that kind of reptile skin type of print where they kind of etched out some of the shiny areas to make more for a matte finish. But the shiny texturing they have on the outside of this upper is very, very sticky. So again, just like this current Predator Instinct, this is going to provide a lot of additional grip on the ball, and that's just the areas without the rubber elements. Now, as far as the rubber elements themselves are concerned, you can see that you have a very, very aggressive type of element right here at the front with these teeth. A very interesting design. Obviously, the new elements they put on current model shoes, whether it be Adidas or any other brand, are a lot different from this one, but definitely very, very interesting. I personally be curious to see how it would perform, but like a lot of rubber elements, the main goal here is that it's going to provide extra grip on the ball. I'm not sure that the actual positioning or the pattern here would make too much of a difference in terms of how the shoe is going to feel, other than just being a lot bulkier than something like a current model inline Predator Instinct, just because of how it's laid out. Not sure that this is going to provide the best ball feel, but in terms of grip, you're definitely going to get that here. Of course, you do have the rubber running down the sides, so you're going to get that consistent grip across the sides of the shoe as well, and then even the rubber here on the heel, which again, it's very, very sticky, it's high quality rubber, and in terms of grip, you're going to get plenty of it. The tongue and lacing system is 100% central. As you can see, you have this giant flap tongue, which I think a lot of people probably wouldn't like to deal with, which is part of the reason why I don't think this is a shoe that a ton of people are actually going to wear. You can see you do have more of a higher cut in the heel and ankle area than you would find on a more modern Predator Instinct, which I think is pretty cool. I really like the look of this cut. It has that nice old school vibe. And then the heel liner, like I mentioned, is really, really nice. It's all synthetic suede, including the back of the tongue. So in terms of comfort, you're definitely going to get plenty of it from this particular shoe. The insole is fully removable. Black insole with your red Predator branding, like I mentioned, and it's just a standard Predator Instinct insole, mesh liner on top, and one single layer of black foam. Nothing fancy, but it definitely does get the job done. As far as the outsole is concerned, or the sole plate, this is of course the control frame on the standard Predator Instinct model, and again, nothing has changed here at all. It's made from a thicker, more flexible plastic in comparison to what we got from the previous LZ models with their sprint frame sole plates. It's a little bit heavier as well, which I think works well with this more old school design they have going on with the upper. And then of course you have that classic triangular stud pattern from Adidas. We've seen it on plenty of models, and if you've worn an Adidas shoe in the last couple of years, you've probably tried it out. It's not my personal favorite, but there's no doubting that it definitely does get the job done on firm natural grass playing surfaces. So that's pretty much it as far as performance elements are concerned. Definitely a very interesting shoe, visually quite stunning. If you wear this out there on the field, I guarantee you that nobody else is going to have a pair. You'll definitely get a lot of attention by wearing a black and white pair of shoes, which is not something that you can say about a lot of different models. But again, if you were interested in wearing this as a performance model, it has all of those elements, it's high quality, it's well made, and it definitely is very, very wearable. So please keep that in mind. In terms of weight, I just don't think it's something that a lot of people are too concerned with this particular shoe, but I thought it would be fun to see if there is any weight difference at all between the Predator Instinct 94 and the standard Predator Instinct. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 10.3 ounces, which in comparison to the standard Predator Instinct is about half an ounce more. So there is some extra weight here, probably due to all the rubber across the upper and just a different cut of the shoe altogether. It's just a beefier design overall, a much bigger tongue obviously. Half an ounce is not a significant amount of weight. I don't even think it's something you're going to notice while the shoes are on your feet, but it definitely is something worth mentioning. So that's pretty much it as far as the weight of the shoe is concerned. And move on next to a quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and of course what the sizing is like. Alright, so here's a look at the Predator Instinct 94s on feet. And in terms of the visuals, like I said, these are going to have a very strong visual impact for a mainly black and white shoe. The tongue, when you have them on, is even more ridiculous than I thought it was going to be. It's extremely large. I guess it's a similar size to what you might get with a pair of Copa Mundials. Maybe a little bit bigger, but because it's synthetic and has this kind of bulky shape to it, there's really nothing you can do about it other than just leave it right there. I don't think many people are going to try cutting it off. I wouldn't recommend doing so personally, but again, in terms of this shoe being wearable, it fits the part, it's very, very comfortable. It's a similar fit to that of the standard Predator Instinct. I think the central lacing system does make it feel a little bit tighter overall, But again, if you really did want to wear these, if you can get past the tongue, if you can get past the 1994 design, then again, I think this is a very, very wearable shoe. Right out of the box, they are quite comfortable. They don't have much stiffness to them. The Hybrid Touch Synthetic is relatively soft and flexible with really no break-in time at all. The rubber elements don't seem to be all that restrictive. They move nicely with the actual Hybrid Touch Synthetic. And again, other than just having a slightly tighter fit than the Predator Instinct, this is a very, very wearable shoe. With that being said, if you do have wider feet, it's probably not going to be the best fit for you, so please keep that in mind. Not sure how much stretch you're going to get out of this boot either, because of how the rubber elements are positioned in the midfoot as well as in the forefoot and toe box area. Other than that, as far as sizing is concerned, they do seem to fit ever so slightly tighter than the standard Predator Instinct, but not enough to where I would say you need to go half a size up. I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and while it's a tight fit, they still do run true to size, and if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size for the best possible fit. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the Adidas Predator Instinct 94 as part of the Revenge Pack. Really happy with the quality and just visuals of the shoe. I think that this is one of the coolest releases that we've seen in the last couple of years as far as limited edition shoes go. And I really hope that this sparks a trend not only with Adidas to continue with, but also with other brands in bringing back some of these classic models that so many of us have fond memories of, perhaps not in their original form, but in a modernized remake like we have here with the Predator Instinct 94. Really cool concept, and I hope Adidas as well as other companies continue with this idea and concept. As far as a written review is concerned, I'm not going to be doing that on this particular shoe. It is a limited release. Not many people are going to be able to get their hands on a pair. In fact, only 1,825 people will. If you guys do want more images, want to get a closer look at the shoe itself, see some of those close-up details, be sure to check out the review page on my website, link down below in the description. And like I mentioned earlier, if you are interested in a pair of these for yourself, as long as they're available at retail price at several online retailers, I will have links up on that review page. So if you're interested in a pair, that link is down below in the description. If you have any questions or comments regarding the Predator Instinct 94, be sure to leave those down below in the comments section. I'd be curious to hear what your opinions are on this particular shoe from Adidas. If you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like, subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.